Hello and welcome to Healthy Seminars. I'm your host, your moderator, Lauren Brown. And today we're having a Conscious Tuesday. Our topic is offering our noble heart, compassion, action for a hurting world. And our speaker is Rosa Schnyer. Now, before I pass on the mic to Rosa and we have this experiential opportunity for self-care, I want to do a little bit of housekeeping. Team, if you can bring up just the disclaimer slide, I'll start right with that. We just always start off with the logistics to remind you that this is for educational purposes only. If you have a health condition, seek out a healthcare provider. This is, again, not to be interpreted as medical advice. This is for educational purposes only. So please seek out a healthcare provider if you have a health condition. So a little bit about Conscious Tuesday and then our speaker and our topic. Conscious Tuesday started back in March of 2020 when COVID hit and we were in physical distancing and lockdown. And we wanted to maintain that opportunity of keeping our community. So although they were saying social isolation, we realized, no, it's physical isolation, not so much social isolation. And we started asking people to come online with cameras on, and we have a chance to see each other and connect as a community to support each other. And speakers stepped up, like today, Rosa, that offered some knowledge, some experience, some self-care that we as practitioners could take on for ourselves, for our own healing. And then because we're filled up through self-care, we have the ability to hold the space for others and share that knowledge or experience and techniques with them. And so it kind of is the idea of you're filling yourself up and then you go out into the world and help heal your communities. And so back in March, Rosa and I were talking back and forth about some ideas. She had some ideas for a meditation, which we're going to go through today. And then what came out of that is some other discussion about her offering even more in-depth courses. So I wanted to let you know that she'll also be offering a course, and I'll just bring it up, that is approved for CEUs. And it's going to be more on the theme, except you'll get some CEUs for it. So I'm going to bring this up perfect. So on healthyseminars.com, you can find she's offering this course on August 15th, and it'll be available on demand after that. It is Distress in the Human Heart, the Other Pandemics, Safety and Ethics in the 21st Century. And this is approved for 4 hours. And it's really nice because we in the NCCAOM, people that are NCCAOM diplomats, and if you're with Australia or British Columbia, you have to do so many ethics and or safety hours. And this one is approved for 2 safety and 2 ethics. So if you're with the NCCAOM and you need to fulfill your 4 hours, 2 ethics, 2 safety, and you also want to do a course that's going to fill you up, that's worthwhile for you, not just do the hours because you have to do it, but get something out of it, here's a fantastic course that Rosa's put together. So I just wanted to share that with you. I wanted to remind you that our community events, you can still find them under resources at Healthy Seminars. So this is where we'll list upcoming live webinars, both free like today, as well as the paid CEU courses. So here's where you check them out. For example, Rosa's here, and you can just click previous or next to find what's happening in that month. We're constantly adding to this page. So that's where you can find that. And then here's our topic today, offering our noble heart, compassion, action for a hurting world. So I just want to do a brief introduction to Rosa, and I hope she'll share a little bit about her background as well. I was introduced to Rosa by a few of my colleagues who I hold in high regard. And then again, as I mentioned, I've had many discussions during the pandemic about the stress, and Rosa was full of a wealth of information. So it was a pleasure for me to talk to her. And it made sense that she get on our platform and spread her background, her knowledge, her experience for ourselves. So today's meant to be experiential. I just want to highlight that she's both a doctor of acupuncture and Chinese medicine. She's a wellness coach, nutritional counselor, and she's also certified in functional medicine. And she's passionate about the transformative potential of natural therapies. She is on the board of the Society for Acupuncture Research. She's a clinical assistant professor in the School of Nursing at the University of Texas, adjunct faculty at the Oregon College of Oriental Medicine and Bastyr University, and she's a former research consultant to the Department of Psychiatry at Stanford University and the Osher Center at Harvard Medical School, and she's also certified in meditation and Dharma yoga. So we have somebody here that has a lot of experience, a lot of knowledge. And Rosa, you have something for us to fill ourselves up. This is a self-care for all of us here, and then we get to take it to our community. So I want to pass the mic on to you, and I'm ready to experience this with everybody else. So thanks for joining us and making the time to share this with us today.
Thank you, Lauren. I really appreciated that warm introduction. There's really not a lot more to say about me other than, you know, when you've been around the sun a few times, you get to accumulate a little bit of experience. So it just comes with the territory. I turned 60 on Saturday, so it's, you know, I'm feeling like a wise woman now. Anyway, I really thank you for tuning in today. And of course, I'm very grateful to Healthy Seminars for opening this platform for everybody. It is really not any news that we're living through some very peculiar times, very strange, very challenging times. And it doesn't take a lot, either looking around or looking within, to find a significant amount of suffering, of fear, of uncertainty, of pain, of discomfort, frustration, whatever is in that spectrum. I think we are all feeling it one way or another. And what we tend to do naturally when we feel that way is we tend to kind of hide away from it. We tend to want to turn away, to close our heart as a way of protecting ourselves, which really only locks us into more of that suffering. And really the invitation today is to actually welcome the uncertainty, to turn towards the suffering and towards the pain, and to bear witness to what's happening in our world today. Bearing witness not as a way of observing from afar, but rather bearing witness with a willingness to sit in the midst of what's coming up with an open heart. If we are willing to open our hearts and to cultivate a space of stillness and receptivity, then healing is actually possible. So the invitation is to cultivate this space, to welcome the suffering, yet at the same time, welcome a space that's much larger than suffering, that can accommodate freedom from suffering and healing. When I think back at my original motivation for holding this time together, it really came out of the realization that here we are, all these healers, whether you're an official professional healer or not, we are all holding healing space. And what if, you know, as healers, because we are compelled to step up and help, we feel called to either support the front response for COVID or support the family of those who are on the front lines or those who are in the front lines, or just support ourselves, our communities, our families, our friends, our patients. This is what we're called to do. And since in Chinese medicine, we hold the understanding that qi infuses every aspect of our experience, and that what we do as healers in Chinese medicine is balance the qi. What if we got together and together we help balance the qi of the earth today? So I invite you to take this time as an opportunity to reconnect with yourself, to settle into yourself, but to welcome the possibility of opening your heart to hold a space that encompasses your own pain, your own suffering, your own struggles, and that of everybody around you. And I'm going to share a thought that serves a lot of times as inspiration for me in this work. And then from there, we're going to go directly into inviting you to find a comfortable space to sit where you can be both relaxed but awake and alert, whatever that means to you. You don't need to keep your camera on for the meditation. We're going to turn ourselves in. And then, when the time comes, we will turn our cameras back on and we'll share in with each other. Make yourselves comfortable. If at any point during the practice, you are struggling between following my direction or following the direction of your heart, always follow your heart. If you just need to come and rest, if you need to lie down, so be it. It's completely fine. Okay? So I'll share my screen. And I always find this piece from the Talmud to be very inspiring and to offer both courage and hope. Do not be daunted by the enormity of the world's grief. Do justly now. Love mercy now. Walk humbly now. You are not obligated to complete the work, but neither are you free to abandon it. So I invite you to find a comfortable way to sit. To sit in a way that you can be both relaxed but alert. And to invite yourself to close your eyes. To take a refuge in the simplicity of your own breath. Sit with a straight spine and an open heart. And invite yourself to take your seat in the symphony of life, in the symphony of this moment. Welcome a gentle awareness of your breath. And let your breath bring you home to your body, to your belly, to your heart. And without forcing or changing the rhythm, just allow your breath to arise and dissolve, like the waves of the ocean. There's nothing in your experience that you have to hold on to. There's nothing in your experience you need to push away. Just really resting your attention in the simplicity of breathing. And let yourself turn towards your experience of being in your life at this moment. At this moment in your life and at this moment in history. At this moment in the community of humanity that we are. And without judgment, just notice how it feels to be in your body. And allow yourself to turn towards rather than away towards all this chaos and violence and confusion and sickness and pain. Inviting yourself to bear witness, to soften your heart, and to hold a space that is bigger and greater than all this suffering. Notice first what it feels like to be in your body. What is the narrative that goes through your mind these days? What are the feelings in your heart? What are your struggles? Letting yourself getting really close and breathing in the struggle. And as you exhale, allowing the struggle to touch your heart, to be transformed, to be encompassed in this open space. Whether you're unsure about the future of your practice, or your health, or your family, whether you're experiencing or have experienced a loss, or you feel frustrated and angry. Let it touch your heart and be embraced in this open space. And with your next out breath, bring your hands together in front of your heart and rub them vigorously against each other as a way of creating friction, of generating some chi. And then allow your hands to separate and imagine that you're holding a sphere of liquid luminosity in your hands. Now let your pinky fingers come together so that you form a bowl with your hands, a vessel. And in the center of this vessel, place your intention. Place your aspiration for being here today. And your original intention for becoming a healer or becoming involved in healing. And again, separate your hands to form the sphere of liquid luminosity. And if you are a sensory person, this may help you connect more so, or you may use words or images. But with every in-breath, the bowl contracts and you can feel the pain, the struggle, the hardness, the fear. And with every out-breath, your hands become apart a little bit more, creating space and allowing that pain to be embraced by this liquid luminosity. Just connecting with your in-breath and your out-breath. You breathe in, feeling the contraction of suffering and pain, letting it touch your heart, and breathing out, creating, allowing it to become embraced by space. And find your own rhythm without making one longer than the other, equalizing your willingness to take and your willingness to send. Inhaling, you contract around the pain. Exhaling, you expand and this pain is embraced in this spaciousness, liquid luminosity. One more time. Inhaling, taking in, contracting, exhaling, opening up, creating the space. And with your next inhale, as your hands come together, close together, in the sphere, place the image of someone or a group of someones that could use a little extra help right now. And with your out breath, give them what they need. Let their suffering be embraced by this open space. Connect with this person or this group of people or this situation, heart to heart. Contracting, expanding into this open space, making it very specific now. And with your next out breath, allow your left hand to come to your lap with a palm facing up, and your right hand to face forward. As if you are wanting to touch a wound, an open wound with your right hand. Still sitting in front of this person, heart to heart. Into your left hand, you receive their tears, their fear, their pain. You allow it to come into your heart, and through your right hand, you give it space, you give it light, you give it healing, you give it anything it needs. Receiving in your left hand and sending healing through your right hand. You're not taking it in like a tree. You're able to take the carbon dioxide around you and transform it into oxygen. You can take the shadows and turn them into light. You can turn the pain and turn it into healing. And now imagine this person, this group of people represented by a person, maybe holding your left hand, maybe touching your right hand, and together, pain is pain, fear is fear, anxiety is anxiety, worry is worry. It doesn't belong to anybody. So together we're willing to receive it, transform it, and turn it into light. Compassion is the relationship between equals. It's not the relationship between the needy and the giver. And with your next out breath, bringing your right hand down, also with your palm facing up. And now imagine that you're holding in between your hands the whole world. And that anybody who's experiencing the same kind of suffering as the person you were working with is inside of this sphere. And now extending it to encompass all beings. Those that you know and those that you don't know. Those that you love and those that you don't necessarily love. And then let that sphere become smaller until your hands come together again like a vessel, like a bowl in front of your heart with your pinkies touching each other. And with one more intentional breath, being willing to bear witness, to receive the tears of the world, bringing them into your heart. And as you exhale, extending your hands out and around and letting this pain completely dissolve into that spacious liquid luminosity. Letting it be, letting it go. Placing your hands with your palms down on your lap. Coming back to the experience of being in your body, in your heart, in your mind. Together in this group. And really putting closure to your practice. letting those that you brought into your heart just be as they are. Reconnect with your breath. Letting it bring you home to your body, to your belly, to your heart. And with your next out breath, place your left hand over the space of your heart, your right hand over the left with the thumbs crossing, like the wings of a bird, the two wings that wisdom and compassion make. And join me by placing our hands now together in prayer in front of the heart, to bow our head towards our heart and unite all our intentions and aspirations together, and to dedicate whatever benefit of this practice, of this time, to alleviating the suffering of all beings, to the healing of our world, of the earth, and of each other. May our bodies be at ease. May our hearts be open. May our minds be clear. And may we together wage peace. Thank you. Take a moment to open your eyes, to see where you are, to come back to the experience of being here. And when you're ready, at your own pace, in your own time, turn your camera back on. And I hand it over to Lorne for questions.
Rosa, thank you very much for leading that meditation and giving us a moment to go inside. And also happy birthday to you as well. That's really special. The cycles of 12, right? So 60. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to post them in the chat room as well. And I'm just going to give you a reminder of one I already mentioned, and then the other is another event. So Rosa will be doing Distress in the Human Heart, the other pandemic, safety and ethics in the 21st century. And it's for 4 hours of continuing education. And they will fulfill the 2 hours of ethics and 2 hours of safety for those in the NCCAOM, 4 hours for British Columbia ethics and safety in Australia, I believe. And then just because it's on theme, I'm going to be offering a workshop in September on how to transform suffering and generate luck, health, and love. And again, it's about consciousness 101, basically. And that's on the lornebrown.com website, where you'll find the other Conscious Tuesday webinars we've had, and we'll place Rosa's there as well. So if you want to watch that again in the future and do this meditation, you can go to lornebrown.com. We have lots of great information on that. Some of the other ways people can find you, share your screen again, because there's other ways to connect with Rosa. So if you could bring up that slide, I think people would like to know, because you're always doing wonderful workshops and mind-body tools that you're sharing.
So I'm planning a few things. As Lorne mentioned, we're doing the safety and ethics in the 21st century, centered around the stress in the human heart, which I plan to do a series and maybe a more in-depth course. And another course I'm planning, which I've taught in the past, is the psycho-emotional experience of chronic pain, comorbidity, or two sides of the same neurobiological coin. And then I have created an offering that's actually for patients that's called Awakening the Healer Within. And this is so that I could offer to my patients some virtual community visits. And I will be offering that to you as well, so that you have a framework to run your own community visits. You will have associate access and make a bit of money for every patient that signs up. You could run your own visits with this framework, and I will be offering facilitation training and mentorship. So if you're interested in anything, in any of those offerings, or if you have any questions for me, feel free to email me at community@rosaschnyer.com. And that's it.
Thank you, Rosa. And thank all of you for showing up. I believe that when we heal our minds, it helps heal the planet. The planet's made up of us, right? Just like on a human level, we're trillions of cells. It's a collective. And so if you can be healthy on a cellular level, then you as an organism are healthy. And that's mirrored in our universe. So I like that quote you had from the Talmud, Rosa, because it's that idea you can't abandon your responsibility, but it's not fully responsibility. And I love the idea that I'm responsible for healing my mind, and in doing so, that's also part of my contribution to heal the planet. So do the inside work first. People think it's a negative term to be selfish, so I like the term to be self-full or soulful. So you fill yourself up, so you have the ability to hold the space for your community and support others. And so this was one of those opportunities to show up and fill yourself up. So congratulations for doing that, because that's how we're going to heal this planet, by healing ourselves. So thank you, guys. Rosa, thank you again for putting this together. I'll see you live online on August 15th for your webinar.
Okay.
And if you guys want to look at more of the Conscious Tuesday talks and consciousness, we have a lot on the science of consciousness, literally the science of consciousness, people doing research on this paradigm shift. The site laurenbrown.com, I have interviews with people of the likes of like Bruce Lipton, Lynn McTaggart, Dawson Church, and the list goes on. And I have a workshop I'm offering in September. You can check that at laurenbrown.com to see if that interests you. Be safe, be well, and be kind to each other, especially yourself. Take care, everybody.